step in preparing a chocolate roll is to make sure you have a 15 by 10 inch tray, and this is how you prepare it. You take and spray some oil, and what I do is I just wipe it a little bit to make sure you get into the corners. And then you take a piece of wax paper, lay it on top of the spray, make sure it's patted down, and then you spray it again. And what I'll do is, again, make sure it reaches into the corners. And you're ready to begin with the ingredients for the chocolate roll. Okay, we get started with the ingredients. This is the cocoa, and all dry ingredients need to be strained. Not one time, 3 times. So let's get started with at least the first sifting, and this is cake flour. So make sure you use cake flour and baking powder and salt. Sift it through. And then we'll do it 2 more times. This is the second sifting. See how fast it goes? It's quick and easy, and it'll pay off in the end when you have your dry ingredients folded in. Okay, so there it is, 3 times, and everything is mixed in. You separate 4 eggs, set aside the yolks, and beat up the egg whites until they're nice and fluffy. Then you're going to add sugar, but do not add the sugar until you see the whites start to form. Now just add a little bit of the sugar. Now you see that it's thick and it's like soft peaks. So now we have the egg yolks. I'm adding a teaspoon of vanilla, and then I'm beating it for a while, just like I did with the egg whites. And once they're nice and foamy, I'll add a 1/4 cup of sugar. Notice I'm doing it gradually. Add the sugar a little at a time. And now you're ready to put everything together. I have all 3 ingredients in place now. And I put the egg whites in a larger bowl, and now I'm going to add the egg yolks, and I will blend them in. I'll fold it over because you really want the egg whites to keep its form. So I have that. And I'm going to just fold this a little bit. And the last step is to add the dry ingredients. And now is when you have to be very careful and make sure that you fold it over easily. You want to keep as much air in it as you can. It's coming together. And now the fun begins. Just take and add your mix to the tray. At least it's all mixed in. Underneath is the hardest part. And this looks good. Spread it carefully and evenly. Make sure you get the corners and don't overwork it. And then put it in a 350-degree oven for 20 minutes. I have a kitchen towel on the table. Make sure it's linen or cloth and not terry cloth, because you don't want the roll to stick to it. And what I'm doing is I'm prepping the towel with confectioner sugar. So just the 15 by 10 inch space should have this. And then when it comes out of the oven, I will just turn it over on there. Here's what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. And you'll see how beautiful it'll look when it's done. So I have to take it over to the kitchen table and like so, and I'm going to tip it there. I take off the wax paper. Be very careful because the tray is hot. And then you want to roll this up and let it cool. Now, I'm making the filling, and that's heavy whipped cream. And what I do is I use 2 cups. I like a lot of whipped cream. And then that means 6 tablespoons of confectioner sugar. So it's 3 per cup. And that adds the sweetness. And then I've already taken and chilled my beater and the bowl. It's always good to have chilled appliances so that you can have a good whipped cream. Start low and then work up slowly, and make sure that you get it on high, and then let it go. That should do it. That is beautiful. The 10 minutes are up, and so now I'm going to open the cloth and slowly unfold the roll. And then very carefully peel off the wax paper. Just be very careful when you peel it off. A little bit of chocolate might come off, but once you roll it up, you won't even know the difference. And if there are a little few rough edges, you can always cut the sides. But that is good. And now I take, don't forget, I have double the whipped cream. So I want to take, spread some, actually half of it maybe. And then you're going to roll it up again. And I'm taking a frosting knife. It's nice and long, spreads easily. And then of course, you'll have the top part to decorate. Some people add more confectioner's sugar. I prefer whipped cream and some chocolate shavings, which I'll show you. Make sure you get around the edges because you want it to show when you make the spiral. Okay, here goes. Gently. Remember, confectioner's sugar is on there, but you have to make sure the roll comes off the cloth. After you roll it up, if there are any cracks or anything, you can always coat it with some whipped cream. Confectioner's sugar is also an option, but this is the chocolate roll, and wait until it's cut. I have the perfect cake roll dish, so I hope you have a dish like that. Makes it a lot easier. And I'm going to decorate the top a little bit, but it came out lovely, and then I'll show you what it's like when it's cut. As you see, I'm able to cover everything and still have a nice round shape. And then I'll take and decorate the top. And I have these chocolate curls and little pieces that will decorate the top of the cake roll. And now I'm going to put a few more shavings that have been crushed. And that really adds to it. I just want you to see the finished product before I cut it up. It's a scrumptious dessert. It's a lot of fun to make, and it's equally as much fun to actually decorate it. I just cut an end piece, and then I want to cut another piece to show you what this looks like. So it really fills in nicely. It really is a delicious treat, and I hope you try it. And then at some point, I'll definitely show you how to make the chocolate curls, and I'm sure you'll try that as well. Okay, see you next time.